Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with the voice of boxing, Adam Smith. Adam, good to see you. How's life?
Good, thanks, Eamon. Yeah, really enjoy being in Liverpool, second home. My football team, love the boxing here. So, yeah, pleased to be here. It was a busy week last week with the GBM show in Sheffield, and then we had Carl Davis in Nottingham on the Saturday night. So, yeah, it's all good. I'm off to Germany next week to see Sophie Ali. So, yeah, I'm busy.
Busy indeed, and Nick Ball was busy in the ring today getting that stoppage victory that he wanted. It ended up with Ronnie Rios outside of the ropes and couldn't make the count. I think the towel was thrown in as well too. Just talk me through Nick Ball's performance and the crowd as well too, baying him on. Sorry.
Brave boy Ronnie Rios to even try and get up after that third knockdown. He was a really tough guy, and I was speaking to Robert Diaz earlier over a coffee, and he said if Ronnie had enough left in him, it would be a really hard fight for Nick Ball, and I think it was. He was winning the rounds, Nick, but it was tough, and he got cut on the nose, and the breathing was a little bit difficult. But I think he was fresher, the better boxer, and just wanted it that much more. And I thought it was a really good performance from Nick because he was on top for the first 4 or 5 rounds, and he had a little dip, and Rios came back at him and was throwing those body shots. But Nick sucked it up and just was relentless. And he's got an incredible work ethic, phenomenal dedication. He's got plenty of talent as well, and he wasn't letting that belt go anywhere tonight.
Right timing for him as well too. Some of the older heads from the area kind of finding their way outside of the sport, and Nick can really kind of take the baton and really run with it for this area.
Yeah, Paul Smith just down there, and the Smith brothers, I guess, coming towards the end. Liam's not quite done yet, but it's a changing of the guard really with Tony Bellew, David Price, and the old fantastic fighters that Liverpool have had. We saw Paul Hodkinson here earlier as well. We've had the likes of Andy Holligan, Shane Neary, John Conte. It's been such a great city, Liverpool, for boxing, and I think there's room now, not just for Nick, but the whole of his gym. The fighters on display tonight were brilliant. There's a lot of young blood in Liverpool. Paul's own son, Paul Jr., is a very good amateur. There's a lot of talent coming through, and I think it's just a fight city. Liverpool means boxing, Liverpool means football, Liverpool means music, and Liverpool means fun. And those guys and girls out there tonight had fun because Nick Ball's a fan-friendly fighter. They're going to be coming back to watch more of him, and he's a down-to-earth guy, and that's what people like about him. So I think he should go far. Unification's next, I think.
I know you've been watching the rest of the undercard intently. What caught your eye?
Do you know what, we were just talking about Henry Turner, what a performance he put in. But Rafferty just did him at the end, It's some sweet boxing there. I love watching a southpaw box like that, but he just couldn't quite keep it up round after round. I thought he boxed so well tonight. And it's really hard when you lose a fight like that. So, yeah, my heart goes out to him a little bit, but he'll come back stronger. But, yeah, just a lot of the prospects on the card were good tonight. And I just think that Liverpool's in a very good place. And, Frank Warren's got a lot of the fighters, and it's another great night for Queensbury.
Managed to catch a word with Tyson Fury?
I did. Just said hi. Yeah, I was with him last week or the week before. When was AJ? A couple of weeks ago. I was at the Box Fest with him and had a 20 minutes on stage with him, which was good fun. Saw him tonight. Said hi, and he's obviously got a lot of training to do and got a big fight December 21st.
Your thoughts on that Wembley fight night? The dust is still settling on it all, and AJ's got a decision to make as to whether he takes the rematch with Dubois. Just your thoughts on the prospect of a rematch with Dubois and where AJ kind of goes from here, I guess.
And my first thoughts are that so many people are talking about Anthony Joshua, but we should be talking about Daniel Dubois. He's a world heavyweight champion from Britain. He's 27 years old. He put the performance of his life on in front of 96,000 people. Most thought he wouldn't. Most thought AJ would win by knockout. And, he completely ripped up the script. He was ruthless. He didn't give AJ any respect. He beat him to the jab. His feet were good. I thought it was a terrific, blistering performance from Dubois. As for Anthony, tough, really tough to take a defeat like that. Really hard one. And there was initial calls for, is this towards the end for AJ? He's loving the work in the gym. He's a gym rat. He loves it, and he's got a bounce and an energy to him, and he wanted to get straight back in. I think, the next week. I think he needs a rest. If if he calls me for advice, I'd say just take your time. Let's see what happens with Usyk and Fury. Obviously, AJ Fury is still the fight that everybody wants to see, and certainly in Britain and probably worldwide. It's the big fight out there. So let's just wait till December 21st. Should he go back into the rematch with Dubois? He wants to. Of course he does. It's the pride. He went back in with Andy Ruiz. He went back in with Alexander Usyk. I just wait. I wait, take my time, have a little think. And obviously Daniel's got a choice to make as well. So I'm sure Frank and George will be sitting down with him and thinking what's next for him. But I'm not sure the immediate rematch. I think maybe he waits and sees what's happened. And the Tyson Fury fight is still there. And I think everybody wants that to happen before they both retire. So, yeah, my advice would be just to wait and see and have a little rest. He's had a tough year and a tough loss, and he'll be back, AJ, I'm sure of it.
If we do get the fight between Fury and AJ in the future, will we have waited too long for it like we did with Brook and Khan?
Yeah, it was too long with Brook and Khan. It was probably too long with Mayweather Pacquiao. Never got Calzaghe and Froch, did we? Never got Hatton and Witter. Never got Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe back in the day. So many fights that slip away. AJ Fury, I think, would have been better 3-4 years ago, but it's still the biggest fight around. And it's just it's two quality, charismatic operators who British boxing knows. You know, everybody knows who Anthony Joshua is, and everybody knows who Tyson Fury is, and the casual fans can't say that about many others. So yeah, I still think it's a huge fight, even though it's now.
Talk of Don Charles, he's had his say when his voice is loudest, but do you think the industry will give Don Charles the credit he deserves?
I've always thought Don Charles has been a brilliant trainer, and not just a brilliant trainer, but a brilliant man. He's great for boxing, what he did with Derek Chisora and many other champions. You know, I spoke to him at length before the fight, and Ben Davison, and he was upset that he just hasn't had the recognition for all the champions that he's made. Now he's got the heavyweight champion of the world. Hopefully people will. Don's a great person. He's a great figure in the sport. He's a fantastic trainer. He's done wonders with Daniel Dubois, and he deserves huge credit.
Get your thoughts on a couple of fights coming up soon. First of all, Fraser versus Fabio, the rematch, or Fabio versus Fraser, I should say. What's your take on that one?
Well, let's hope it's round 13 now. I don't know if those guys can go to the well again like they did. It was one of the great fights, I thought, for the British heavyweight title, and I loved it at the O2. I'm not going to Riyadh next week, so I'll be watching it on the telly, but I just hope it's another cracker. It's a very interesting fight. Yeah, will it take off where it left off, or will we see a little bit more maybe respect between the pair, maybe a bit more circumspect, different crowd in Riyadh. It's another close fight, and it's another one we can't wait for.
And Beterbiev Bivol
is a fantastic fight. It's a wonderful, wonderful occasion when the two best light heavyweights in the world that we've been waiting for meet at a great time when they're not past their best. And I think it's a fantastic one for the fight fans. I'm just sad that the casual fans don't know more about it. You walk down the street and people don't really know who Bivol and Beterbiev are, which is really disappointing. But in boxing, it's huge. And I'll go with what I thought right at the beginning. I fancy Dimitri Bivol quite strongly. I think he's got the IQ and intelligence and the feet to get into a rhythm and make it really hard for Beterbiev. You can never, ever write Arthur off. He's a huge puncher. He cuts the ring down brilliantly. You ask Callum Smith, Paul's brother, about that. But I'm going for the guy with just a smarter brain, and I think Dimitri Bivol will pull it off on points.
Adam, pleasure. Thanks for speaking to SecondsOut, sir. Catch up soon. Cheers. Goodbye.